Dear listeners, last night during my spiritual flight, while I was wandering in the realms of consciousness, I met a spiritual personality. His name was Rajneesh Osho, and as I was planning to produce this audio on emotional and familial conditioning, I end up discussing all those things with Rajneesh Osho. During that discussion, numerous insights came into my notice, and I also realized that Rajneesh is my spiritual brother. I'm going to include those insights in today's lecture, and I'm also dedicating this lecture to Rajneesh Osho. So let's continue. This is my dedication to Rajneesh, and if you would find some similarities in the words, it is because there is still a significant impression of that discussion on my consciousness. So, in the last audio, I spoke to you about the condition of land and place, how we became attached to a small patch of land and began to call it ours, and how that tiny piece of soil became part of our identity, pride, and wounds. But today, I am going to discuss something even more intimate, something that hides within our chest, something that shapes every feeling, every relationship, every tear that falls, and every smile that tries to hide the pain. Today, we are going to discuss emotional conditioning, bhavanatmak shartbaddhata, and within that, one of its deepest forms, familial conditioning, that is parivarik shartbaddhata. But before I continue, I want you to remember that if at any moment you feel hurt, offended, or disturbed, this is not an attack on your heart. This is an invitation to see your ego. Remember that your Atma or your consciousness can never be hurt. Only the Ahankar, the false self, trembles when truth begins to pierce through illusion. So do not listen with the mind. Listen from the stillness. Listen from the silent space behind your thoughts. So, from the first moment of birth, we begin absorbing emotions. We do not only inherit our parents' bodies, we also inherit their inner climate, their fears, their sorrows, their unspoken dreams. A mother who has lived in fear will feed that fear to her child with her milk. A father who has carried guilt or anger will plant those seeds silently in his children's heart. And we call this love. But much of what we call love is emotional conditioning. A child learns early that love has conditions. If you behave, we will love you. If you obey, then you are good. If you fail, then you are bringing shame. And thus begins the great tragedy. The child starts performing instead of living. He starts seeking approval instead of truth. He begins to mistake fear for love. Slowly, emotions lose their natural flow. They become rehearsed, edited, and polished for social display. You learn to smile when your heart is breaking. You learn to forgive while the wound is still bleeding. You learn to stay silent because good people don't argue. And this becomes emotional slavery, invisible but powerful. Every conditioning begins at home, remember this. Families give love, yes, and care and belonging, but also unknowingly chains of emotions. A son grows up hearing, your father sacrificed everything for you, you must fulfill his dreams, and he buries his own dreams beneath the burden of gratitude and guilt. A daughter is told, good girls don't talk much, don't caution, don't bring shame. And so she learns to smile while dying silently inside. A mother gives her whole life to her children and then expects unconsciously to be fulfilled through them. And when they cannot, she feels betrayed, not realizing that love has turned into a demand. In every home, this emotional drama is repeating for generations. We call it sanskars, culture, tradition, but most of it is emotional control and not wisdom. Familial conditioning does not only shape behavior, it shapes identity. You stop asking yourself, who am I? And begin to ask, what do they want me to be? And thus, you live your whole life as someone else's version of you. But emotional conditioning is not the only thing. It has many layers, like an onion. Each layer hides pain, fear, guilt, and attachment. So let's reveal them one by one. The first layer is guilt. How many times have you done something not out of love but guilt? This is a form of conditioning. Guilt is the most refined weapon in the emotional world. You don't call me. You have forgotten your friends. You don't care for your brother anymore. You are selfish. These words create invisible threads that keep you tied to the past. Even when you are physically free, these guilts keep you bound. It whispers, be good, please them, don't hurt them. But remember, true love can never grow out of guilt. It can grow only out of awareness. The next layer is fear. Fear is the glue that holds the entire conditioning together wherever you will see. Fear of losing love, fear of being rejected, fear of being alone. So we begin to tolerate, we begin to adjust, compromise, and start calling this maturity. But remember, this is not maturity, this is paralysis. Fear keeps disguising itself as love, as care, as respect, until you see fear clearly. Until you see fear clearly, you will never know what love truly is. Then comes attachment. Attachment is also not love, because love by definition frees you, and attachment by definition binds you. But we have been taught the opposite. A parent says, you are my life. A lover says, without you I am nothing. And we applaud these things. We call it romance. But this is dependency. This is emotional bondage. When you need someone to feel complete, you are not loving. You are escaping yourself. Real love has no such need. And finally, there is this great outer circle, cultural emotional conditioning. Our societies and religions also dictate how we must feel. In India, we are told children must always obey parents no matter what. Women must be patient and nurturing, even if they are suffocating. Men must be strong and silent, even when they are breaking. We have been taught that emotion is weakness and repression is virtue. Boys are told don't cry, girls are told don't get angry. And so, emotions are buried alive inside of us. This is why we see so many people walk around smiling, yet their eyes are heavy with unseen sadness. They carry unexpressed tears because their inner truth has been replaced by social expectation. So, how do you know if you are emotionally conditioned? Well, ask yourself, do I feel guilty when I put my own needs first? Ask yourself, do I keep adjusting just to avoid conflict? Then ask yourself, do I suppress anger or sadness because I fear losing someone's approval? Do I call fear as love and guilt as care? And do I keep playing roles of the good child, the understanding friend, the obedient spouse, instead of being my true self? If the answer is yes to even one of these, remember, if the answer is yes to even one of these, you are living through emotional conditioning. But do not feel guilty about that because naturally everyone is born into this great unconscious web. And our goal is not to blame the parents or the society because blame is just another form of bondage. Our goal is to see. Our goal is to see simply, clearly, and without judgment. My dear people, awareness is not a rebellion, it is a realization. When you become aware, you don't need to fight the emotion because the emotion will dissolve on their own. Just like darkness disappears the moment you light a lamp, your conditioning will begin to vanish in the light of observation. The way out is not through control or suppression, but through witnessing. When anger arises, don't suppress it, don't express it, simply watch it. When guilt comes, don't justify it, just try to observe from where it arises. When the desire for approval appears, just pause for a moment and ask, whose voice is this? Is it the truth or my conditioning? The moment you see clearly, you are free. Awareness burns the seed of conditioning. You cannot fix your emotions because your emotions are not broken, but you can only wake up from them. And once you truly see your emotional patterns, they begin to lose their power. These patterns will fall away like old leaves from a tree that no longer needs them. Emotional conditioning is the most invisible prison of human life. We live in it, we love through it, and we die believing it was us. but it was never you. It was only borrowed emotion recycled through generations. To live in truth, you must feel without fear and without filter. Let every emotion rise and dissolve in awareness. This is not weakness, this is courage. Because when you allow your heart to break open, that is the moment when your soul will finally breathe. Remember this, that awareness is liberation and both is mukti. In our next exploration, I will try to take you deeper into the conditioning of action and the conditioning of karma, and I will try to explain how even our goodness, our kindness, and our morality can secretly feed the ego. If this journey has touched something in you, something within you, subscribe and stay connected, and continue walking with me on this path of spirituality and enlightenment. Thank you.